All right then. Oh, this is fun. This is fun. This is fun. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this because I feel as if I'm not centered somehow. Hello, everybody. It is Saturday, and yes, is there anybody there? We don't. Oh, I've just had a notification on my phone that I'm going live. That Rosemary's going live, and we're going off the cuff today. Or tonight at least. Now, for those of you who do follow me, you know that Saturday morning usually is story time. Well, we had our story time, and we had so many people checking in, and we had so many questions from so many people, and we're not able to answer everybody's questions. So we thought, Chris and I, actually Greg Eagle and I really, and then Chris sort of said, yeah, I'm game. We thought, why not pop in? It's Saturday night. It's a relaxing night. It's a time for watching a movie. So have I interrupted your movie time? What am I doing here? We just thought we'd have a little moment. That moment might last for 10 minutes or it might last for half an hour. But first and foremost, before we really begin, I'd like to say hello to Greg Eagle, who is always, as always, standing to my right side. And Chris, are you there, Chris?
I am here, and boy, I love coming along for this ride.
Well, we just thought, why not do an off the cuff, one of those moments where you weren't expecting me, were you? And I'm popping in. I did warn you. I've been warning you for weeks now. I'm going to pop in and out of your lives whenever I feel like it. You can always press the off button or just disconnect me or whatever it is. You don't have to have me in your life. You can, you have to join in order for that to happen. But Chris, sorry, I've got an itch here. Chris, all I've had for dinner. Have you had your dinner yet, Chris?
I have not had my dinner. I had a late lunch though.
Well, I did not have a late lunch. I had an early lunch, and a friend of mine brought me over one of those, those ready cooked chickens that you can get, which are really, really nice. So, so far I've had a little drumstick, a chicken drumstick, which is quite okay by me, really, and I probably won't eat very much else. But did I catch you all at dinner? Did I catch you all watching TV? And really, actually, is there anybody there, Chris?
Oh, you've got at least half the amount you do for the people on the Thursdays and the Saturdays already on.
Oh, really?
You
Oh,
do.
good. Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, good. Well, so what are we going to do then? Maybe those people who are on and listening, do you have any suggestions for us? What should we do in this moment of time? First of all, would you like to know what I've been doing all day? I'll tell you, whether you want to know or not. I did a little grocery shopping. I've got no food in. Really, mostly important, more important than no food. I've always got food in. Mostly, I had no laundry soap. I ran out of laundry soap, people. So I had to go to the grocery store to get some laundry soap. And then I came back, and joy of joys, I've been doing my taxes all afternoon. I'm exhausted with taxes. So I thought, oh, what can I do that's fun? What can I do? So I thought, well, we love to have fun on this whatever we do, Chris, don't we? We love to have fun. We like to
Yes.
sort of interrupt people. We like to get into people's lives. We like to sort of put ourselves under your noses, so to speak. And we're dying to hear from you guys. We're dying to hear, what did you do today? What was your Saturday like? For those of you in Australia, I know it's sort of probably Sunday, isn't it? What are you doing? What are you doing for your weekend? And how about what do you have to tell me? And maybe somebody has a story or two for me. So, Chris, I can see that we're getting quite a few people, excuse me, responding. I can see that we're getting quite a few people. What are they doing, actually? Are they sending messages? What are they doing here?
Well, a lot of them are really surprised that you're on. So a lot of the comments, well, Maggie saying off the cuff, and Dee saying surprise, and Junior saying good morning, and Lori saying what a nice surprise.
Where is Junior? If you're saying good morning, is he in Australia? Are you in Australia, Junior? What's going on? Where are you? So let's have it from everybody. Where are you from, first of all? We want to know about you. I know you want to know about me, but you know enough to know about me, and you can find me. You can look me up anywhere anyway, or you can go to my website, which is, by the way, rosemaryaltea.com, all one word. But we just thought, Chris and I, just let's have a little bit of fun. The one thing that I forgot to do is I forgot to put some rum in my Coke. Dash it. I'll just have to drink the Coke without the rum then. Next time we do this off the cuff, I think I'm going to make one of my very, very spectacular and special margaritas. Except I can't make it nearly as strong as I would normally make it, because boy, they put you to sleep very, very easily, very nicely, very easily. But I do like them. If anybody wants the recipe, I'm happy to give you the recipe for it, or you can find it in my cookbook. Right, now then, Chris.
Maggie's actually saying, wish I could have a bit of wine with you and Chris.
Oh, right. I don't drink wine. I used to be a wine drinker. In fact, I used to know a lot about wine. In fact, here's another fact. These are 3 facts I'm giving to you now. I used to work in a wine bar, and in fact, at one point, I used to run the wine bar, and I used to do all the cooking in the wine bar until there were 2 sets of partners who were fighting over who should get the wine bar, and until they sorted themselves out, I was the one manning the wine bar, and I learned a great deal about wine. And I also used to make the desserts for the wine bar, until I heard the owner of the wine bar telling someone that his wife made everything. And I thought, that's it then, I'm done. I'm not making any more desserts for you guys. So anyway, so I can't remember the last time I drank wine. And I'm not really sure that I like it anymore, although occasionally, if I'm in Italy with my friends in Italy, I'll have a glass or 2 of wine. Right, Chris, what have we got here? Who's listening in? Who's out there?
Well, you have a lot of your, let's say, your normal followers from your Thursday and Saturday shows.
You mean the usual? You mean the usual suspects?
Well, yeah, we know none of us are normal, right?
No, we hope not.
Who is it? Joe, female Joe, is saying, good evening, I'm watching Hallmark. So that's what you've interrupted. Let's see. Holly's saying, what a beautiful surprise. Hi, Rosemary and Gray Eagle. Eric thinks you should make chicken salad with those pre-cooked chickens because they're yummy.
That's actually exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be making my special chicken salad. And if you want the recipe for that, Dean, oh boy, I make the best chicken salad. I really love my chicken salad. I make it with curry and all sorts of other things anyway. Not too much in it though. I hate those salads where you get bits of celery and bits of, if I'm going to have celery, give me a stick of it. Don't put it in my stew. Don't put it in my soup. And definitely don't put it in my tuna or my chicken salads. Please, I hate that stuff. Anyway, I'm sure some of you are thinking, oh, I love it, but not me. Yes?
Paco's on from Italy.
Hi, Paco.
Junior says he's from Glasgow, Scotland.
Oh, well, wait a minute. You said good morning. Let me see. 8, 9, 10. Oh, golly. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. What are you still doing up? What are you doing up, Junior? If you like me, you're a late nighter. Right. Keep going, Chris.
Holly's on from Toronto. Joe is from Homestead, Florida, just south of Miami.
Oh, you're not that far away from me then.
Yeah, she said, my daughter and I painted indoors, a house being remodeled and so much dust.
Oh, well, but it'll be beautiful when you've finished, right? It'll be absolutely beautiful when you've finished. Keep going, Chris. I'm relying on you.
Janet says, come on over, Rosemary. I have rum. We don't know where Janet is, though.
Janet, where are you? Can I get there easily? I have to tell you, though, I do have a big giant bottle of rum. It's an aged rum. I just forgot to get it out of the cupboard. I forgot to put it in the drink. I just totally forgot all about it because I'm actually not a big drinker. So I forgot. Yes, where are you? If you want me to come over there, come on, where are you? My neighbors here, and I have some very nice neighbors, sort of, yes. But yeah, then they're nice. I'm sure they're very nice people, but I'm going to break your heart now. Are you ready for this, all of you? I'm going to break your hearts. Nobody ever invites me anywhere. Actually, my lovely neighbor who is next door, but she's only here sort of in the summertime. She and her husband invite me all the time, and they cook for me, and they cook on the grill for me, and they are fantastic. They are the best neighbors ever. That's as much as I'm going to say about neighbors. Moving on, Chris.
Maggie says, dang it, we won't mind if you run for the rum.
Who says dang it?
Maggie did.
All right. Oh no, I'm good. I can manage without it. Sometimes though, what I do with my British friends, and actually with my Canadian friends, and in fact, my lovely friend Karen and I, we were supposed to have a sort of a get together, and what we do is we get together on Zoom or FaceTime or whatever it is, and I bring a drink and they bring a drink, and we hang out just as if we were together. It's a great thing. It's a great thing to do, and it's a great social thing to do. And sometimes we even have dinner together. They eat what they're eating. They wish they were eating what I'm eating. I made myself a whole rack of lamb all to myself the other day. Absolutely delicious. Slathered it in homemade pesto. And I know I'll offend the Italians when I say I made it with walnuts. I like walnut pesto, and we had a few comments, didn't we, Chris, when I said that before? You can't use walnuts in pesto. Actually, it's really delicious. Again, if you want the recipe, just let me know, because I'll share the recipe with anybody.
Or they can get your cookbook.
Yeah, or they can get the cookbook. Yeah, but I made this lamb and I slathered it with the pesto, and then put breadcrumbs on the top, and I put it in the oven, and oh, it was so delicious. And I didn't feel at all guilty when I had far more than I would usually have. And then the next day I had more, and then the next day I even had more, because I love it hot, but I really, really love it cold, and it's great to take on the beach too. Yes, keep coming. Keep those.
All right, so
those comments and things coming.
Zaz is on from Sarasota, Florida.
Zaz, you're in Sarasota? I'm just down the road.
And then I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this first name. Mahawampi is on, just saying they're from the US, not saying where.
Okay. What an interesting name. I wonder where that name comes from. Maybe you'd like to fill us in with that.
Yeah, I wonder what it would mean. Philip says it's 9:50 a.m. here in Australia.
Hi, Philip. Good morning. Good morning. Whereabouts in Australia are you? And what are you doing checking in? Have you checked in with me before? Do you know me? Have you seen me before? We want to hear all these things from everybody, because after all, it isn't off the cuff. I called Chris. I said, hey, you game for doing this? And she said, I am if you are. So that's what we're doing here. So keep going, Chris.
Pasquale's on from Florence.
Hi.
Megan says,
would that be Florence, Italy?
I assume it is.
I
yes.
love Florence. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. I love it. I love it. And the outlying areas are fantastic. And I'm very fortunate in that I have a really good friend of mine who he's sort of involved in I don't even know what we'd call it, but it's like a vineyard and sort of a small village. And he invites me there. I haven't been there this year. I was supposed to go there. Not this year. I was supposed to go there last year. And I love going to Florence. And last year, the year before last, I took my grandson, Reese, with me, and my daughter, of course, and we all went to Florence, and we stayed at this beautiful, beautiful place that my friend owns. And it's also a place where I sing. So we had a huge sort of barbecue and invited people from the villages around. And well, I didn't do it, my friend did it, and invited the people from the villages around. And then they had some musicians playing the saxophone and the drums. And are you listening, Dean? They played all of this stuff. And at one point I was busy singing at the table and having a great time, and somebody said, you know, the microphone's over there. Well, you've only got to ask me once. And the next thing, I got up, and my grandson, he was then 6 or so, he got up there with me, and I sang some great songs. And I'll tell you this, because this was such a special moment for me. So I was singing, and everybody at the end was applauding and cheering, and I'm waving. We're having a great time. And Reese's mama came to take him, and he ran in front of me with his mama. He ran in front of me, and I was stopping and talking to different people. And all of a sudden, this little boy, he was sort of not quite 7 years old, he turned around and he looked at me. And he came racing back to me, and he put his arms around my legs and gave me the biggest hug. It was almost as if he had this moment of, wow, that's my grandma. It's like, gave me this big giant hug. And you know how you keep these memories, don't you? You have these special memories of different times and special times. But that for me is a memory that I shall never, ever forget. Right, Chris, keep going.
Megan saying aloha from Maui.
Oh, nice.
It's about 2 p.m. here, heading to work shortly. COVID-19 protocols, mask enforcement at an event my hotel is hosting this evening. Wish I was having a drink instead.
Well, you know, I love Hawaii. I love Maui. I've been very fortunate. I've been invited there. And Chris, where did we go? Because Chris came with me. Where did we go, Chris? Where did we go?
We went to the Big Island. Oh, I'm sorry. We went to Oahu. We went to Kauai. We went to Maui. Did we go to a fourth one?
We did.
Oh, why aren't I remembering?
We did. We went to that place where Obama went to.
Yeah, that was on Oahu.
Right. And yeah, we did go to 4 places. And I have to tell you, they so welcomed me. We had, remember, Chris, we had more lays put around our necks than we could possibly know what to do with.
Fabulous people.
So
fabulous.
Wonderful. Sorry?
It was fabulous. It was my birthday when we went. And remember, we made the homemade pizzas, and we sat outside with the ukulele and singing songs. And then you had the fresh pineapple from Robert's farm.
I remember that our hosts put on a big party, and they invited all of their friends and all of the people from this particular place that we stayed at. And I remember you taking a video of me singing.
Yes. Maybe I'll dig that up again, and maybe we can put it on your Instagram account, which you should say to everybody what happened with your Instagram account.
Yeah, we got hacked and hacked again. You know, there are so many people out there who are seriously disturbed and have some serious problems, and why they would want to do it, who knows, but they did. Anyway, we finally had to make a new Instagram account, which we just did. Unfortunately, though, we lost all of the people who were on the Instagram with me and following me on Instagram. So if you want to go back onto Instagram, Chris, give the address out.
It's _Rosemary_Altea.
So a lot of underscoring there, but we're going to be building the Instagram back up. We're just sorry that we lost you all. But you can find us easily, and we'll be putting stuff up there, you know, as and when. But you can also find us on FaceTime. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Twitter and all of those.
LinkedIn, Medium.com.
Medium.com. You can find us there, and or you go to our website, rosemaryaltea.com, or one word, and you can find us there and see what we're up to also. So let's hear from some people. Let's go for it, Chris.
Well, Kate is saying Actually, maybe her name is Morena. Morena from New Zealand. It's just coming up to lunchtime. You are making me hungry.
Well, with the lamb and everything. Well, New Zealand. The first time I went to New Zealand, I had the most extraordinary experience with a group of Maoris who came to visit, and they came to see me at a theatre, and unfortunately they got this big bus. It was they travelled God knows how many miles, goodness knows how many miles, through rough territory. And unfortunately, they arrived at this place where we were doing an event. They arrived about 15 minutes too late, and they weren't allowed in. And when we'd finished the event, I came out, I was signing books, and I noticed that there was this, quite a large group of people standing over the corner there. And if somebody came up to me and said, these people traveled for so many hours to come and see you, would it be possible to say hello? And I thought, it's going to be more than possible to say more than hello. And so when I'd finished signing books, I spent quite a bit of time with them. And then someone who ran one of the spiritualist churches there invited them there, and they put on this amazing dance for me. They had created this phenomenal dance and a phenomenal song for me. And again, I just talked about the memories that we have. One of the most special memories that I shall remember, always, is this group of people who had traveled so far, and and with many difficulties, just to come and see me. And I was so honored that they would even consider to do that. It was such an amazing and wonderful experience. I suppose I've been so lucky traveling all over the world, and I've had some amazing experiences all over the world. But you can never be complacent about these things, the fact that you all join me on this show, Chris, isn't this fantastic?
I love it because it's a different vibe at night, isn't it?
It is. And don't you feel sort of I just feel so honored that you would all come out of your movies, or stop your dinner, or what it is that you were doing, just to watch us and just to participate with us in this. And it really is an honor for me. And so I really do thank you all for taking the time to to connect. So what else have we got, Chris? Who else have we got here?
Well, Rosa is on with Noah and Michelle, and they're sending their love.
Really? Is this who I think it is?
Yes.
I hope it's who I think it is. How are you guys doing? I was so excited when I received the text. I'm not going to tell anybody about it, but and that's from me to you guys. And I really, really do hope that everything's going fine for you. Chris, keep going.
Both Janet and Sharon are agreeing with you about the celery. Just say no to celery in tuna or chicken salad.
I know. I love celery. Don't misunderstand me. But people put it in stews. I mean, it really doesn't. It just, how I love celery? I love to get a little pot of salt and a stick of celery, and, just munch it. And it's delicious. But no, don't put it in anything else. No. You like it though, Chris, don't you? I'm telling people not to do it that way, but
I like it if
that
it's freshly made, but if it sits overnight in the fridge and you get the wetness, that pools, nah, I don't like that.
Well, I don't like it anyway, but as a stick to eat. All right, let's keep going.
All right, Heidi's on from Toronto saying nice to see you guys on a Saturday night.
Good.
Sharon's on from Boynton Beach. Is that Florida?
I think it is, isn't it? Look, I never get invited anywhere. I know it's COVID, but I have a a nice house and I'm a cook, and get friendly with me and I'll invite you for dinner. I mean, come on, everybody. We can walk the beaches. The beaches have been so full and so busy, and and so it is one place where you don't have to wear a mask, and you can, as long as you sort of, stay a distance from, people, you're fine. It's really, really fine. And the Florida beaches, and especially on the west coast here, the Florida beaches are phenomenal. They really are. And the ocean and the water. And when my grandson was here, the last night we decided we'd walk up onto the pier, on Sharky's Pier it's called. We walked up onto the pier and there were fishermen at the end there, and as we're standing there, and Reese is saying to me, I can't see any dolphins, Mosey. And I said, well, let's take a look and see if we can see them. There's nothing. And all of a sudden, like magic, because he thinks I'm magic, and I encourage him to think it.
But you are.
All of a sudden, a dolphin came out of the water, then another one came out of the water, and there was a huge dolphin pod. It was fantastic. Keep going.
Lucia is on from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.
Oh.
I hear about that, and I think of years ago we used to watch a show called The Love Boat, and they were always going to Puerto Vallarta. It sounds so pretty.
I don't think I ever saw a Love Boat. I don't know if we had it in England. I have no idea. But there are some beautiful beaches in Mexico too. Mexico City is a mix of things, isn't it? It's like a lot of places in the world. There are some incredible and beautiful things, but there are also some awful things to see too. When I remember going to Egypt, and gosh, it was fascinating, and to Cairo in particular, absolutely fascinating and incredible and phenomenal sights, but the poverty was unbelievable. And so it's sort of a mix of, I can remember when I was in wherever it was, somewhere in Mexico, driving. I'd just finished a TV show and we were driving back, and we sort of heading up to a traffic lights. It's pitch black. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and these 3 small children were standing at the traffic lights, waving cars down, and asking for money. And I told the driver, stop. And he said, no. He said, their parents send them out for money. And I said, you're going to stop, which he did. And I gave them money, quite a bit as far as they were concerned, which, yes, all right, they have to take it to their parents. But I just wanted them to get off the street. I just, if I give them this much, maybe the parents will be satisfied and they won't send them out again. I mean, I'm talking little children. I'm talking 4 and 5, 7 and 8 years old. Anyway, all we can do with that is just hope, send out our prayers, and hope that these little ones stay safe. Chris.
Janet says you're welcome to come over at any time. Have to tell you, though, we have 6 lovely kitty cats.
But where are you? The cats don't bother me. I don't care about cats. I would never have a cat myself. I used to have cats, but that's a long time ago. Chris, I know you've got your little snowy fur ball there.
I just love him.
Yes, well, where is he?
I think he's with my husband right now.
Oh, okay. All right. So, well, no, I don't mind the cats. Animals are often nicer than people, but where are you? So, all right, Chris.
Julie says it's another beautiful Sunday morning in Australia with Rosemary.
Hi, Julie. How are you? Oh, I'm so glad. You see, we're able to reach people. We never quite know which time is the best time to put on our shows, which is why we're doing this tonight, and why we did a couple of weeks ago, or was it even last week, we did an evening show. And it's nice to be able to reach people, and it's nice to be able to reach, and I don't know, I don't know, Junior, if you're still awake in Scotland there. I hope you're still awake. But it's nice to meet people and to be able to reach people all over the world, and it's nice to do it live. I know that you can go on YouTube, or that you can go and find me, and you can watch these shows and recorded shows. But isn't it nice to be part of a live show too?
Maggie's talking about your walnut pesto. I'd love the recipe along with the margarita.
All right then. All right. My friend Wendy, who's a student of mine, I gave her the recipe. And I was so amazed when she first made the recipe, because she only made sort of, I think she sort of, how you can pare down the recipe, and she made a quarter of the amount that I usually make. But then she texted me the other day, can you freeze pesto? If I made a whole batch of it, she wanted to make a whole batch of it, can you freeze it? So I sent her the instructions of how to freeze it, and absolutely you can. And so I just put some basil, or if you're American, basil. I just planted some. So I should be making my fresh, fabulous pesto within the next few weeks. And, that might be the time, maybe in May, that might be the time I invite you into my kitchen so that you can watch me make it. Chris.
Julie says, oh, I'm the Julie that wrote The Land of When that I gifted to you and your grandson.
I know. Julie, I said hi. I know who you are. And I'm so thrilled. And I did give that to my grandson, and we really enjoyed reading it. So how are you? And how are you doing? To let me know, please. Keep going, Chris.
Speaking of students, Lori says, oh boy, my Dan would be there like a shot. He loves lamb.
Hi, Laurie. How are you? Okay.
Mark is very surprised you're on. So he's just joined us.
Well, good.
Samantha.
Why are you surprised, Mark? I did actually mention briefly, we might do something later. Didn't you take me seriously now?
Samantha says hello from Melbourne, Australia.
Hi, Samantha. I love Australia. I love Australians. I was very fortunate. The times that I've been to Australia, it was a sort of non-stop crazy trip, going from city to city, and this whirlwind tour. But everybody was so nice to me, and the both in Australia and New Zealand, and I really, really do love the fact that I'm still connecting with you all.
Pasquale says, we're waiting for you in Florence.
Well, an invitation would be nice. You have to invite me, and you have to give me a reason to go. And, well, I actually can go to Florence anytime I like, because, as I've said, I have a friend who has a property just outside of Florence. But, look, if you invite me, Chris, do you want to go to Florence?
I'm there.
It would be a fight between you and Samantha and Reese.
Well, I know who would win that one.
I'm afraid so. But yeah, I just love Florence. I love the Italians. I love to walk along the street in Italy, and this has happened to me in Rome. It's happened to me in Florence. It's happened to me in so many different places, and in Italy, and I'll be walking along the street with a friend or with somebody, and we'll be chatting away, and all of a sudden somebody will be walking towards me with tears streaming down their face, saying, Rosemary, Rosemary, and crying and crying and crying. And I was in a hotel once in, I don't remember which town, it might have even been Florence. I was in a hotel, and my editor and I were walking down the corridor going back to our room, and we saw a maid coming out of what turned out to be the laundry room. She came out, she screamed, she took one look at us, she screamed, she ran back in, and then she dragged a friend out, and we stood in the hallway of the hotel talking to them for ages. They couldn't speak any English. We could barely speak Italian. Somehow or another, we communicated, and these two lovely, lovely ladies were sobbing all over me. And I think that meant they were pleased to see me. So, yeah, I'll come anytime, anywhere.
John's saying hi from the UK.
Hi, John.
And Carolyn's saying, wow, you're on again. Yippee, what a treat.
You're on again, not you again. I know. John, where in the UK are you? Is it my John? Could it possibly be my John? John, where are you? Who are you? Where are you from? Where are you tuning in from? And yes, it's got to be now at least 1:30, if not getting on for 2:00 in the morning. Good for you.
Megan from Hawaii answered us back and said, perhaps you went to Kauai or Molokai. And yes, we did. Molokai was the one I'd forgotten.
Yeah, we did. It was fantastic. It was lovely. And I have to tell you that we had such fantastic hosts, didn't we, Chris? People
yes,
who
we
didn't know us, but they put us up and they put up with us, and they were so nice to us. We had a blast. We really did.
Zaz is saying, I had the pleasure of seeing you in Sarasota years ago. I did attend a small workshop you held in Tampa also.
Oh,
Funny thing was, I just flew from New York City the day before and my ears were blocked. I couldn't hear a word you were saying.
Oh, no.
One day I hope I will get another opportunity to actually speak with you as well as hear you.
Well, if you want to go take a walk on the beach, just let me know. You're not that far away,
Well, and you've got your webinars coming up, and every Thursday and Saturday. I mean, there's all kinds of opportunities.
I know. Every Thursday morning we do the Spirit World Sees All, which of course we know they do. We told a story this morning about how clearly the Spirit World sees. And what else? We do our Saturday morning story time, and here we are now, Saturday night. We just can't get enough of doing this. We hope that you're not really bored. We hope we're not going to saturate you to the point where you say, her again? Not again. Really? Not again? But we do have our 2 webinars coming up. We have our webinar on the 8th, of May. Yes, of course, there are a lot of you here who you maybe don't know about this because we're on different time zones. So let's talk about the month of May. Can you believe, and for those of you in Australia, those of you who see me in New Zealand, those of you who see me, well, in the UK also, where I've been traveling and doing book tours and so on over the years, can you believe that it's 25 years since I wrote The Eagle and the Rose? 25 years since the book was published on May the 19th. 25 years ago, my gosh, can you really believe it? And it was published on May the 19th, as all my books are, because it's my birthday. So it was amazing. So this year, this May coming up, we're doing some really special, really great things. We're having a webinar on the 8th where we're going to be giving messages. When I say we, Greg and I are going to be giving messages. The spirit world is going to join us, hopefully, and we're going to be giving messages to people. That's what the webinar is all about. And then, I feel as if I need a trumpet here. Then heralding in the most amazing an exciting webinar on the 22nd of May, because after all, it's the 25th anniversary of The Eagle and the Rose. We are going to be talking with Grey Eagle, or Grey Eagle's going to be doing the talking. We are going to have a direct voice webinar. Amazing. It's a very rare thing to hear from a highly evolved spiritual entity as Grey Eagle is. He was, when he was here on this earth, he was a shaman. He was patchy. He was a shaman, very wise, incredibly knowledgeable entity, person, call him what you like. Stanley was nudging me, actually, just because I don't quite know how to describe him to you all, but he's amazing. He's amazing. And he is going to be doing direct voice communication, that will be on the 22nd. And if you want to know more about that, just go to the webinar and check it out, or email Chris, Kris, at rosemaryaltea.com, and we'll tell you all about it. We'll tell you what's going to happen. So we've got that coming up. We also, every Monday through the month of May, we're going to be having motivational Mondays. We want all of you to, sort of let us know, what do you want to be motivated about? What do you feel would be helpful to you to motivate you or to keep you going, or to keep, your ideas or your goals in place? Email us, because we're going to be taking some of those things that you write, some of those questions or some of those ideas that you have. I'm going to show you all on Motivational Mondays how you can motivate yourself, and how using your own spiritual gifts and your own spiritual awareness, how you can motivate yourself into becoming successful in your endeavors. And every Wednesday throughout the month of May, we're also going to be having our Healing Wednesdays, where, first of all, if you need healing, if you'd like healing, please write into us. We'll certainly give you healing, certainly send you healing. But I'm also going to be teaching people a little bit about the art of healing, and how you too can develop the art of healing, and how you can use it for your own selves, and how you can use it for others. Lots of things coming up. And also, we're going to be doing our off the cuff stuff. I think that's what we should call it, Chris.
I think it works.
Off the cuff stuff, which means that I should be bobbing into your lives again. If you don't want me there, just don't bother connecting, or turn me off, or switch me off, or get rid of me, or whatever it is. But I'm going to be walking the beach with you. I'm going to be in the kitchen cooking with you. I'm going to be doing all sorts, whatever it is that I'm doing. I'm going to be popping in. We're going to be doing some little pop-ins all the way through the month of May, because it is the 25th anniversary, and that is in itself, that is a huge achievement. And as you probably will not be surprised to know, The Eagle and the Rose is known as a classic, and is still, after all these years, is still being found, discovered, read. Those of you who have read the book before, you can go back and read it again. Share with all those people who perhaps have never heard of me, never heard of The Eagle and the Rose, and share that information with them, because it is that book that just keeps on giving and giving and giving. It's amazing. It's an amazing book. I know I wrote it, but it's an amazing book. Remember, I wrote it with such inspiration, and didn't write it all by myself. Okay, so Chris, keep going. How are we doing here?
Oh, you're doing good. A lot of people still on. Rita Chiara is on from Rome.
Hi, Rita.
And Samantha says, thank you for my beautiful message last week from my daughter. It put a spring in my feet again.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. Very welcome indeed.
Sue says, hello from the state of Ohio in the USA. I've been a fan for 15 years or more. I've got your books. Much appreciation.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's so nice of you to say that. Keep going, Chris. Keep them rolling in.
Kevin's saying, aloha, Rosemary from Kauai.
Hi, Kevin. How are you? We haven't heard from you in a while.
Maggie says, I have a great picture of my daughter in the lavender fields in New Zealand. She looks so happy. She traveled so much before she passed. Saw more in her short life than most.
How nice is that?
Mark says what he was doing was cooking curry chicken in homemade beef broth when you popped on.
Oh, that sounds good, Mark. That sounds really, really good.
Pasquale wants to know, have you ever met Brian Weiss?
Yes, I have. Don't you know that about me? Brian is one of the loveliest people on this planet. He is kind. He is gentle. He has these amazing ideas. We don't particularly necessarily agree on everything. He has his ideas and I have my ideas. But it amazes me. I hear from people all the time who tell me that when he does his workshops and his lectures, he'll sometimes mention some of the things that I've helped him to understand. But yes, he is a lovely person. Yes. And it's a long time since I've seen him, but yes.
Barb says, "Oh, so nice. You make our days and night now. Hugs to you."
Oh, that's so nice. What we're hoping is that when we come off of here, you'll be sort of having a little spring in your step and feeling a little bit better about yourselves. Because I just want to say to everybody here, you do know, right, that you're not alone. You do.
Rosemary, can you hear me? Because I cannot hear you. We'll give her 1 second to load back up, guys. So just hang in there.
Did I lose you?
There we go.
Sorry.
You're only gone for a couple of seconds. That's all right.
My daughter calling in, and she doesn't realize that we're doing the off the cuff stuff. What we're saying, I forgot what we were saying.
Let me back up to who. So Barb was on saying, "You make our days and nights now. Hugs to you." That was the last message.
That's right. And this is what I was saying, that for all of you, you know, some of you are fortunate. You have your partner with you, or you have your family with you. You're surrounded by your family. But some of you I know who are sitting there sort of, you know, hanging out by yourselves, maybe eating too much chocolate, or maybe stuffing your face with something that you shouldn't be stuffing your face with. And you know, some of you out there are feeling lonely or feeling alone. And I just want to say, for all of you, not just those of you who are alone, but those of you who have your families around you, please include those in the spirit world who are with you, who you love. Please understand that they are sharing or watching that movie, or sitting there listening to your conversations. Please understand that the spirit world does see all, and that you are not we are never, any of us, we are never alone. Yes.
Patricia says, "It's nice to see you, but I have a bit of a strange question. Is the spirit world a noisy place?"
Oh, I love that question. Well, it depends. It depends where you are. You know, here's the thing that I say to people all the time. Chris, I hope we didn't lose a lot of people. Did we lose a lot of people when we switched
No,
off
you've
there?
actually gained, Rosemary. The longer you on, the more you get.
Okay, all right then. All right, well, okay, so, you know, just imagine, all of you, right? Just imagine that the phone rings and you pick it up, and somebody on the other end says, "Hi, I'm from Mars. Can you tell me what your Earth is like?" Okay, so where would you begin? Which part of this Earth would you be able to describe? Which part of this Earth would you be able to talk about? And the truth of the matter is that we are so fortunate on this Earth of ours, because this planet just holds so many treasures, so many wonders of the world, so many incredible, incredible experiences to be had, and so many fantastic people and cultures that well, actually, most of us don't know too much about. So if the man from Mars said to you, "Tell me what the Earth is like," you would describe those places that you would know, or those places that you'd been to, wouldn't you? And that's where you would begin. It's very much like that in the spirit world. So, you know, you're asking me, is it noisy up there? You're imagining perhaps that it's this sort of this one spot. But in fact, it's very much like this planet of ours. There are so many different places to go, so many different and incredible things to see, so many experiences to be had. So I can say that there have been times when I visited the spirit world, and I've been fortunate enough to do that. Sometimes with patients of mine when they have died, and I've been allowed to go along on that journey with them. And sometimes if I've just sort of, you know, been astral traveling my own self. But depending on which place we go to, sometimes I have to say it's been pretty noisy, and other times it's been really beautiful and quiet and peaceful. So it depends on where you go, just in the same way that if I'm talking to the man from Mars, I would have to say, "Well, right now it's pretty cozy and pretty nice in my house, and it's very quiet because there's only me." and all of these people watching. So, but you describe where you know and your own experiences. And so, you know, if I were to tell my experiences of this earth, I would have to say one thing, and somebody else would have to say something else, and somebody else would say something else. So yes, it can be noisy, but it also can be very quiet and very beautiful and very peaceful too.
Junior says a woman in Glasgow stopped me and asked me, "Do you have the gift of second sight?"
Oh,
I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "She could see the shadow of spirit over my eye." What does the gift of second sight mean?
oh golly. Well, you know, in Scotland, and having Scottish blood myself, we know that the word "fey" means. What does it mean? It means that you're sensitive, or that you mean you're. It means that you're more in tune or more aware. And I think when we talk about second sight, to be absolutely accurate about it, Junior, second sight actually means perhaps that you can see into the future. However, second sight means that you can see further than. The word clairvoyance, for instance, means seeing further than the human vision. Clairaudience means hearing further than or beyond the ordinary hearing. And you can on and on we go. Claircognizance, clairsentience. It just means that your senses go beyond the physical, and they go beyond the earthly. And most people have, you know, this. Let's say this. I don't really want to call it second sight. I'd just say that this higher level of understanding, or a higher level of being able to tune in. Most people have it, but they only have it in certain areas. For instance, you might get someone who can see further than, but not hear, or you might get someone who can hear but not see, and so on and so forth. You know, different mediums or different people have different abilities, and sometimes they have strengths in one way, and sometimes they have strengths in another. People ask me, what am I? And I say I'm a clever clogs, because I can both see further than, hear further than, sense further than. In every way, I am Claire, all of it. You know, I can see beyond, hear beyond, sense beyond, and so on. And I feel very fortunate in that. And I think that, you know, this is where Gravel comes in, because he helps me with all of this, and he helps me to understand it all, and he helps me to expand not just my vision, but my hearing, but every single one of my senses are expanded and go beyond this earth. You know, Junior, it's very possible that you are sensitive. I actually think that you are. You are sensitive to outside forces. You are sensitive to things that are, let's say, go beyond this ordinary earthly life of ours. How you use it. There are so many people who have this gift, but how we use it, or if we use it, or if we're even aware of it, and if we are, what do we do with it anyway? Here are some questions that we can ask Gregor when we can. I know that you're coming to that webinar, so maybe you'd like to ask him a little bit about that, and see what he has to say about that, and perhaps he'll be able to help you and to guide you on your path. Who knows? But that's on the 22nd of May, and I'm so excited about it. I know I should be pushed into the background there. I won't be able to join in. I won't be able to say what I'm feeling, except when Gregor has finished. Maybe he'll allow me to sort of, I don't know, pop in and out. I don't know. We shall have to wait and see. We never know what's going to happen when Gregor takes center stage, but I'm very excited for it. Yes, Chris.
Julie's responding back to you. I'm so happy to be connecting, and can I say that life is fantastic thanks to you. I took all of your advice and now have the perfect job working with children, and am building a gorgeous little villa, and you can come and visit anytime once we are allowed. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of your guidance.
Oh, Julie, thank you so, so much. And thank you. You know, it's great for me to hear that. It's great that, because I know that when we first had a conversation, things you were struggling with all sorts of things. And I know that there were those in the spirit world, you know, as well as I do, who were able to help and guide you. And so it's wonderful for me to hear that that you were given that inspiration and you were given that strength and that guidance. But I think it's also perhaps even more important that other people hear that, you know, when somebody's had an experience with me or someone like me, I think it's so important for them, because they, you know, they're inspired, and they feel, wow, if she can do it, maybe I can do it. So good for you, my darling. I'm thrilled to bits. And, you know, a lot of people come to me, they come to me for help and advice and so on. They come to their loved ones in the spirit world for help and advice. You know, you have choices when that happens. You would think that if somebody came to see me for help and advice, they'd pay attention and they'd use that advice and they'd work with it, and use what they have. But not everybody does that. So good for you that you took that advice, but you not only took it, you worked with it and you trusted it. And I'm so thrilled for you.
John says, "Hi, I live in Scunthorpe, Lincolnshire. I came to see you for a reading about 20 years ago."
Gosh, John, tell us more. We want to know more, John. Yes, well, I lived not far from there, as many people will know. John, you got to tell me more. Tell me who you are, and you know, we want to hear this story. So come on now.
Calla says, "So lovely to see you again, Rosemary. I know we saw her this morning."
Yes, you did. Are you sick of me yet?
Maggie says, "May is Rosemary Fest the whole month."
Well, it's Spirit World Fest the whole month. It's the Eagle and the Rose Fest the whole month. It's Grey Eagle Fest the whole month. I'm so excited. I hope you all are too.
Mark says, "Rosemary, this book needs to become a movie or a series on your true life experiences based on actual true experiences."
I know. You know, there was a movie. In fact, I was invited to go on the Larry King show. This is a while ago now. When the movie, what was it called?
Sixth Sense?
Sixth Sense. And it was it's actually a really great movie. But if you have read my book and you know of my book, I always felt and still do feel that you know, someone read my story, then they changed the young girl into the young boy, and they made the mother a lovely, loving mother instead of a not such a loving mother, and it did become very successful as a movie. But of course, it was not a true story. But everybody raved about it, and you know, if anybody out there is a movie maker and wants to make a movie that is a true story, amazing true story with amazing stories of people and the way that they have experienced this gift, you know, hey, I'm all for it. And I totally agree with you that that's what should happen.
Well, and it would be nice too. You mentioned this a few weeks ago, that anybody who's ever had an experience with Rosemary, whether you popped in next to her at a restaurant or you came to one of her events or you had a one-on-one consultation, if you feel like sharing your experience, you can send it to me in the office, and then Rosemary is able to use that maybe on her social media or her books or what
Always
have
love
you
to
with your
read your
permission.
story. You know, we're going to read people's stories from time to time. John, where are you? What is this story? I want to know. I want to know who you are. I want to know more about you. Obviously, you know, if you lived in Scunthorpe, you didn't travel that far to see me. We want to know what that experience was all about. So come on now.
Annie's asking, can Grey Eagle send a message for her, please?
Hi, Annie. Well, I was going to say no, but apparently, yes, Annie. Right. So here's the message. I don't think it's just for you, Annie. I think it might be for maybe a lot of people. Annie, I have to be very stern now with you. Annie, this is my serious face. You need to find your power symbol because you are feeling powerless right now. You have so much power, you have so much inner strength, and you so don't realize it, my darling. So Grey Eagle is giving you a power symbol, which is actually my power symbol. He is handing you a feather. In the days to come, you'll find it. It will be at your feet. You'll find this feather, and you'll know that what Grey Eagle has said to you is true. You have inner strength. Be strong. Allow your power symbol, the feather in this case, to remind you. A power symbol isn't something that gives us strength. A power symbol is that thing that reminds us of our strength. And whenever I see a feather, I can remember once I was doing the Lisa show, and they put me in a little room and they blindfolded me and they put earphones on, and I wasn't. This is while the show was going on, while they were introducing the audience and talking to the audience about who was coming on and talking about me. And I know that there were a lot of people there, people who had lost their children, people who'd lost, people in unusual circumstances, violent circumstances, difficult circumstances. There were people out there who'd lost their children in difficult circumstances. I didn't know that at the time when I was sitting in that little room with my headphones on and my blindfold in this little tiny dark room. It's almost like a sort of little closet that they shoved me into. And I was concerned because I was saying to Grey Eagle as I was in there, you think I was in there by myself. No, I was in there with Grey Eagle, and I was saying to him, whatever's out there for me, can you help me? Can you make sure that I do a good job? I wanted to do the very best that I could do for people, the people in the audience who I knew many had traveled from so far away. And as I'm talking to Grey Eagle, of course, I'm sort of getting a bit nervous about things because, no matter how great the gift is and no matter how good you are at something, it's always good to have that reassurance. And so I was talking to him and I'm saying, can you just help me to make sure that I do a really good job for the people out there in the audience? And the next thing, I saw this enormous, and I have to tell you, it was several feet and huge. I saw this enormous feather that he placed in front of me. And he wasn't saying to me, this is your power. He was saying, this is to remind you of the power that you have, the power that you need to own, and the power that you need to sort of use. And so our power symbols and our power animals are there for us to remind us of the power that we actually have. Annie, there you are. What a good message, right? Let me know, Annie, what you thought of that message. Come on, Chris.
Adrian said, "Hi, speaking of aliens, why are there more and more videos coming out about people seeing UFOs?"
Oh, you know what? It's always been a fascinating subject. I don't know really. I've no idea. Can't answer the question, but I do understand what you're saying. There do seem to be these sort of space things going on. I'm not a big UFO fan myself. I'd much rather watch a good mystery, a good, good murder mystery. And my daughter thinks that I'm I have this vicious streak. One of my most favorite movies has so much blood and gore in it, but it's so funny. It's such a funny movie that I thoroughly enjoy it, and she thinks I'm crazy. Right, come on, Chris, let's go for it. Let's
Pasquale wants to know if you can suggest a serious medium in Italy.
I can't. I'm so sorry. I wish that I could speak the language, but here's the thing that you have to understand. There are no barriers now. You can't, I have people calling me from all over the world. I give consultations to people from all over the world. You can do this on Zoom. You can do this on FaceTime or whatever. You can do it all. It's an easy thing to do. But if you are going to, for instance, if somebody is calling me for a consult and doesn't perhaps happen to speak English, you know, you can always get an interpreter. And we do have a couple of interpreters. We do have, I think, Chris, don't we have at least one name on our website of somebody who can speak?
Yeah, Manuela's on your website listed
Right.
under translators.
Okay, so and what you do is you connect with her. It has nothing to do with us. You connect with her, you sort out what she needs from you and what you need from her. And then when you make your appointment, you make sure to tell us that, you know, you've got an interpreter so we can allow you a little bit more time. And we can do it that way. And I would love to be able to recommend a medium to you, but unfortunately, my darling, I'm afraid I can't.
All right. Sarita's on from Wales.
I've got a little bit of an itch. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, we don't know what that part of the body means, do we? Normally, if your palms itch or, you know, there's reasons. I don't know what your forehead would be. So Sarita says, it's your friend from Wales. How are you, sweetheart? You're looking very bright and beautiful.
Oh, thank you. And how are you? And what are you doing up at this time of night? Or morning, should I say? This is amazing. I'm finding that there are so many of you out there who are late nighters, just as I am. I mean, I think, let me see, what time did I go to sleep yesterday? 2 or 3 in the morning? I think it was that this morning. I'm very often up till very late at night. And, you know, and then I have to get up in the morning. I'm one of those fortunate people, perhaps I don't need an awful lot of sleep. So that's pretty good.
Well, so she also had a couple more things to say.
Yeah.
Do you know Ed and Lorraine Warren? They do many things to help people.
No, I don't.
She also wants to know, do you do healing? If so, I need some healing really bad. Something is happening and it's not good. And I can't go into detail. If you ask Gray Eagle, he will know.
Okay. Email me. You can either email Rosemary at rosemaryalte.com or Chris, Kris, at rosemaryalte.com. Put healing in the subject line. If you want to tell us a little bit more about it, absolutely, that's of course up to you. It will remain private between us, and we shall definitely send you healing on a daily basis. And you might like to tune in on our Healing Wednesdays throughout the month of May. And I can show you, darling, how to give healing to your own self. But I will definitely, and if anyone out there wants to join with our Healing Wednesdays, if you email me and ask for healing, absolutely, we'll do that on our Healing Wednesdays. We will absolutely send all of you healing. But I will also have some tips so that you can help yourself and give healing to your own self. So my darling, little Welsh girl there, please email me and let me know what's going on, would you? Chris.
John's responded. He said, hi, I was 18 years old and was a passenger in a very bad road accident. I was in the hospital for a long time with broken bones. I came to see you because I lost my friend who was driving the car. You got in touch with him for me, and it was a very good reading.
John, can you write and tell me a little bit more? I love this story, and I love that you were inspired by it. And so that makes you 38 now, does it? We'd love to know more about you. And I'd love to know how your life has progressed since that time. You know, I'm always interested to have conversations with my clients. So however long ago it was, you know, sort of please contact me and you know, tell me a little bit more about yourself. I want to know how you're doing. How are you doing, my darling? And I was so happy to be able to help you in that time. And I'm sure your friend is still with you and often visits you. In fact, from Grey Eagles from Grey Eagle's mouth to your ears, yes, he does. And thank you for sharing that with us, John. Yes, keep going, Chris.
Lee is on saying, hi, Rosemary. I'm looking for a message from my mom. Is there anything?
Not right now, because we're going to keep plowing on tonight. But hey, check out the webinar coming up on the 8th of May. I can't guarantee that you'll get a message, but that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing that for at least a couple of hours, giving messages out to different people. So you may well get lucky in that respect. Chris.
Pasquale says, Rosemary, could you please ask Gray Eagle if the grandmother of my girlfriend is next to her? She is here with him. Her name is Rita Chiara.
Okay, Rita. I would love to know why you're asking a question you already know the answer to, because you know that. Yes, the answer is yes. You have to learn to trust yourself and learn to trust your instincts, darling. And, you know, when we have somebody who is this close to us and we feel them there, or we sense them there, we're aware of them, not only do we have to learn to listen to them, to learn to talk to them, to connect with them, but we do have to learn to listen to them too. And I think that maybe you need to learn to listen a little bit closer. And I love this idea of the two of you sitting there watching this show and watching us and sharing these moments with us. I love the idea of that. So thank you for joining us.
All right, this is the last one, Rosemary. Sarita's just responding to you. Yes, that would be brilliant. I have had something negative happening over me, and it's been very much bothering me, so much stress, making me confused. I feel like there's a huge hole in my chest. I shall email you the information. You're such a sweetheart. And oh my God, May 8th is my birthday.
Oh, go to the website, rosemaryaltea.com. Thank you, all of you, for this off the cuff joining us. We do hope that you enjoyed it. You know, I'm looking at all of the messages and I can see hearts, and I can see flowers, I can see all sorts of things. You are, all of you, so very special to me. I would like to especially say thank you, Chris, because it is Saturday night. Chris has given up a Saturday night for this, and I don't even pay for it, Chris, do I?
This is my payment. I get all these lovely people here, plus you.
I know. It's so fun, right? And so I especially would like to say thank you to Grey Eagle for being here with us, and all of my love to all of you out there. You can go to bed now, those of you in England and Scotland and Wales. I love the fact that we've got people from England and Scotland and Wales. I love that fact. I love the fact that we've got people from all over the world, and especially that lovely, lovely person calling from Singapore. I don't know if you're still watching, but boy, oh boy, we're so happy that you've all joined with us tonight. Watch more, pay attention, keep your eyes open for our off the cuff moments. Bye-bye, everybody. Please have a very blessed rest of the night, and have a very blessed and a very wonderful weekend. And don't forget, email me, Rosemary at rosemaryaltea.com, or Chris, Kris, at rosemaryaltea.com. At rosemaryaltea.com, or just simply click on the website. Go to the website, rosemaryaltea.com, all one word, and you'll see all the kinds of things that we're up to. So I look forward to seeing you next. We'll be back on Thursday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then we'll be back on Saturday morning for our story time, and we'll be doing more off the cuff stuff too. Bye everybody, from Off the Cuff Stuff, from me, from Grey Eagle. All of you have a very blessed rest of the day.